Hi, welcome back to BG Pythons. This is my lovely green tree python. It's a manic worry. I could see it slightly in the previous video in the darkness in the cage. I've named this one Lagatha because it's currently unsexed, so it's just easier to talk around that rather than saying he, she, it. And a Lagatha has just shed, and it was almost complete. I thought my humidity wasn't too bad, and she's just got a tiny bit of stuck shed on there, which you can see, which I'm going to look to gently remove if I can today. Hence why I've got her out. I was just going to talk about the setup I've got for her, or for Lagatha. Basically I'm using these green stakes, which you can get from pretty much any garden centre. I happen to have a few in the garden shed, which I just cut to size. And I purchased some wardrobe sockets just to put into the sides of the Viv so I can take these perches out without having to manhandle Lagatha. Cage, or the Viv, I'm using obviously the Reptirad heat panel, which seems to be working really well, and a White Python LED light. One of the things I like about the White Python LED light is that you can purchase dimmers. I don't know if you can see that right, it's got a bit of light on it. So I've actually got these dimmers for all of my instances of, I'm going to turn around because the head's this way around. There you go, see a bit of head action. Yeah, so the LED lights can, not so bright, and it dulls it down a bit. I've also used puppy pads. They fit perfectly and it's really good for just spilling a bit of water on just to raise the humidity as and when needed. And again, I think I've got a pack of 50 for 10 quid. I know people can, you get kitchen roll and things, but because it fits nicely, it's great, nice and easy to slot in there. Now I've got Lagatha in a this sort of classic 60 by 60 cube, or 2 foot by 2 foot cube. That is what she was originally in on the previous keeper. So I think it's really important to try to do exactly the same setup as possible as where they've come from, because otherwise it can be a bit of a shock to the system for them and take them a lot longer to get established. That's my own experience anyway. I think, and I'll explain it because I've got another one of these that's just joined the collection, which I'll share with you shortly. This green tree python is a manic worry, and when this was a neonate, it was red in colour, whereas the one I'll show you in a minute, I'm calling Ned for the time being, is bright yellow, but it's still a manic worry green tree python. So I'll show you that one shortly, but a couple of key sorts of things for me is I like keeping the Vivs quite simple. I have seen a few recently, some videos of people that I subscribe to and watch, where they've gone with this sort of bioactive type thing, and they're far better than I, because trying to get a bioactive set up properly, be kind of an expert in that, and also really understanding these guys, it's getting that balance right, quite tricky, I think. I would just keep things simple, and always say, like I said before, do what the people you've collected it from, and certainly in the early days. The other bit is that love using my little govies. I've done a review on these, probably can see either up there or up there depending on what side the thing goes, but they are really good just to drop in or hang from perch, for people just to have a look at, for me to get an up-to-date reading on humidity and temps. Also you can set alarms just in case it has dropped below a threshold, which is really useful. So look at that, absolutely stunning snake. It's beautiful. I love all the blues that the Maniquaries have. I'm going to give it a go and see if I can get that shed off. I won't film it because it could be a bit awkward, but be very gentle. It may be that I have to keep it on there to see how she behaves, but bear with me. Hi, so I'm going to very quickly show you, this is my little neonate, if you can see in there. There she goes, oh there you go, which is absolutely beautiful yellow. If I just show you how tiny this little neonate is, and I shouldn't really be disturbing her because, or Ned, because has eaten. I'm shaking him about, but I've got a very, very simple setup. When I picked up this little Ned, it was in a very simple box, little tub with a heat pad underneath, some sort of trellis wire section of that, and is perfectly happy, eating really well, all of those sorts of things. So the last thing I want to do is bring that tiny little snake back and put it into an enclosure which it's completely not used to. The chances are that it won't eat, because it would be feeling pretty vulnerable. As you can see how small that little snake is. So I've gone down the route of trying to sort of mimic what the setup was there, using the tub system. I've got a very two-stack rack system for putting the little green tree python in, and it works really well. It's just got a simple perch that's probably a bit too thick for it at the moment, but hence why I've still got the trellis in there to lean. Nice little water bowl. I've gone for heating on the sides rather than underneath, and again using the Govee thermohydrometer, I can use my phone just to keep an eye on temps and humidity. And the humidity, again, I'm not being stupid on it. I'm going in this range of 40 to 70. I let it dry down to around about 40, and then I just tip a bit of the water. It seems to be working. Obviously with my other green tree python, it's got a bit of stuck shed, so I might have been slightly off point with the humidity, and I haven't been able to get that shed off, so I'm not going to stress the snake out too much. I'll just raise the humidity in there a little bit more just to see if that helps. It's worth noting that this is the type of snake that you do see just perched most of the day, very little movement, but you know, early evening and through the night, really quite active. And and it's lovely to watch them crawling around. So making sure that humidity is there, hopefully Lagatha would be able to get that last bit of shed off. But in terms of feeding, I've also seen a lot of people when they're feeding, and it seems to work because they filmed it and put it on YouTube, with the little pinkies with the neonates, and they poke them and they do all this stuff. Well, I tried all that and it just wasn't working for me. I was getting a lot of action to sort of look at it, so I thought, do you know what, I'm not going to stress the snake out. I'll just leave the little pinky in there overnight, and lo and behold, every time so far the pinky's gone by the next morning. So that's just my approach on how I'm doing it, but I have noted some people have contacted me and they're having a lot of problems, and they're either trying to force feed or do things, and I think maybe it's early days, and you've got to look at the whole piece. You've got to look at how you've set things up. You've got to think about the humidity, temps and all of that, make sure that they're all on point before, I think, going down a route of stressing the animal out, which might mean it won't eat at all. Other bits, yeah, that's probably it. But I just wanted to share with you those two. I think they're beautiful snakes. It's certainly it's sort of this neonate. It's kind of a Christmas present to myself, and you know, what a great little Christmas present. It's like, it is beautiful. So listen, if you interested in hearing more, I've got a bit of a cage which I got from IMC Cages. It's come damaged, which is a real disappointment, because I've got some fantastic cages from them. They've been pretty cool about it. It's not their fault. It was very well packaged. It's just got a bit of a crack, which you can see. So I'm just fixing it up, because I'm not going to mess around with things. But there was some big lessons learned from it, because I mean, it took me nearly half an hour to unpack. That's how well packed it was. And you know, a courier's not going to wait around for you for half an hour for you to open up and get all this stuff out, for you to give it a check over. But you know, apparently that's what I should have done. Unfortunately, I wasn't here when it was dropped off. So I kind of have to live with that, but it's a bit of a lessons learned, particularly when you're getting stuff from overseas. It's not as easy to put it in your car and take it back and say, wait, this isn't quite right. But other than that, I am pretty happy with their Vivs, and obviously my Vivrac type things are superb. So I might do a little bit on that, and I think and I've also got a snake that I've been trying to get hold of for pretty much most of 2021, will be coming next year. We've just been trying to get it really established feeding wise. Once it really properly kicks in, it would be absolutely fine, but it would be a really great addition to my collection, and I'm super excited about getting that. But it keeps, the goalposts keep moving, but there's no rush, as they all say. But wishing everybody really happy Christmas and a really good New Year. I hope we don't have you know, a big lockdown that goes on again and all of that stuff, but it's looking inevitable at the moment. But keep safe and keep well. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button for when I do another video. Thank you so much for all the people who've subscribed to my channel this year. I know I haven't got huge numbers compared to lots of other people, but I'm hoping that you know, even a handful of people can go away and make a purchasing decision, or learn something in a positive way. Then that is perfect for me, and it makes it worthwhile doing all of this. Also, a big shout out to New Forest Morphs. I love their channel. It's really great. If you're into ball pythons particularly, or you want to, you know, get really into breeding and all those things, you need to subscribe to Paul and Jared. It's great. It's great fun, and they do loads of videos all the time, so there's always something to watch. So have a good one, guys, and I'll keep following you. And I love all the stuff that you're talking about enrichment and things. It's very, very important that we as hobbyists look to try out different methods and different things, and think about the well-being of our animals and everything. Nobody's got the perfect answer, but it's always good to sort of challenge conventions and things. So good luck, and have a good one, everybody. Take care. Bye.